Let me ask you a question. How many of you have been praying for growth, asking for breakthrough, believing for greatness, but you keep choosing comfort? See, comfort feels good, but it's a silent killer of purpose. Comfort doesn't challenge you, it coddles you. And anything that coddles you eventually controls you. You can't conquer what you're not willing to confront. And you can't confront anything if you're too comfortable to move. So if you really want to be powerful, you've got to be willing to be uncomfortable. Because comfort makes you weak, but challenge makes you strong. Let me break it down for you. Comfort convinces you to settle for less when you were designed for more. It whispers, you're doing fine, when deep down your spirit is screaming, I was made for greatness. Comfort will make you hide your gifts, bury your talents, and silence your potential, all because it's easier to stay the same than to grow. But hear me on this. God didn't call you to easy. He called you to excellence. He called you to dominion. And dominion doesn't come from sitting still. It comes from standing up and fighting for your destiny. Let me ask you a real question. When was the last time you did something that truly made you uncomfortable? Because here's the truth. Your destiny isn't hiding in your comfort zone. It's waiting in your discomfort zone. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your elevator. It's the force that lifts you from ordinary to extraordinary, from potential to power, from intention to impact. Every person who ever achieved something significant had to walk through the fire of discomfort. Why? Because discomfort is the doorway to destiny. It's the threshold where your excuses die and your excellence is born. If you want to live a life that matters, you must stop avoiding discomfort and start embracing it as a teacher, a trainer, and a transformer. See, most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid pain, but pain is part of the process that makes you powerful. Think about it. The gym doesn't make you stronger by being easy. It makes you stronger by being hard. The same principle applies to life. The resistance that frustrates you is the very thing that forms you. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every uncomfortable moment you endure, it's all sculpting you into the person you were destined to become. So the next time life stretches you, don't complain about it. Thank God for the stretch, because that stretch is preparing you for strength. When you step into discomfort, you activate a new level of awareness, creativity, and resilience. Comfort keeps your potential asleep, but discomfort wakes it up and demands more of you. It pushes you beyond what you think you can handle and shows you what you're really capable of. That's why discomfort is sacred. It's a divine signal that you're on the edge of transformation. If you're too comfortable, it means you've stopped growing. You cannot ask God for expansion while you keep holding on to ease. Expansion always requires exposure, to risk, to rejection, to resistance. And yet that's exactly where your power is found. There's a reason the caterpillar struggles inside the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. That struggle isn't punishment, it's preparation. Without it, the butterfly's wings would never develop the strength to fly. Your struggles work the same way. The pressure you feel, the uncertainty you face, the discomfort that keeps you up at night, it's all strengthening your wings. The process may not feel good, but it's doing good work in you. If you interrupt the process too soon, you rob yourself of the power that was meant to carry you into your purpose. So stop trying to escape what's meant to elevate you. Lean in, learn through it. Let discomfort develop your discipline. Here's the hook. Every level of destiny has a new level of discomfort attached to it. The higher you go, the greater the pressure. But that's not a curse, that's confirmation. Pressure doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're forming. You're being molded into the version of yourself that can handle the blessing you've been praying for. Discomfort is heaven's way of saying, I'm upgrading you. So if life feels uncomfortable right now, don't shrink back, stand up. Don't retreat, rise. Because if it's stretching you, it's strengthening you. You can't become exceptional by doing what's easy. Easy produces average, uncomfortable produces unstoppable. Every giant of faith, every successful entrepreneur, every great leader you admire, they all learned how to sit in discomfort without quitting. They knew that on the other side of that pain was purpose, and on the other side of that struggle was strength. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this preparing me for? That's the mindset shift that transforms discomfort from a burden into a blessing. Discomfort is not there to break you, it's there to build you. It's the training ground for your greatness. Every moment you choose to stay in the process instead of running from it, you're expanding your capacity for success. You're telling life, I'm ready for more. Because destiny doesn't come to those who seek ease. It comes to those who dare to grow through difficulty. So stop fearing discomfort and start using it as fuel. Every time it feels uncomfortable, remind yourself you're not being buried, you're being planted. And what's planted in discomfort always blooms in destiny. Comfort is one of the most dangerous illusions you can fall into because it disguises itself as peace while slowly suffocating your potential. It tells you everything is fine, that you've done enough, that it's okay to stop stretching. But that's the exact moment your calling begins to die. Comfort doesn't announce itself as an enemy. It seduces you with safety. It makes you believe that staying still is success when in reality it's slow surrender. The truth is comfort kills calling. It's the silent dream thief that convinces you to trade greatness for familiarity. You can't walk in your divine purpose while clinging to the very things that keep you small. See, every calling comes with a cost, and that cost is discomfort. You cannot step into purpose without first stepping out of convenience. Comfort convinces people to hide in average when they were born for abundance. It makes them say, I'll do it later, when destiny is whispering, do it now. Comfort keeps you rehearsing excuses instead of producing results. It whispers, stay here, it's safe, when your spirit is crying, move, it's time to grow. If you let comfort guide your decisions, you'll spend your life watching others live the dreams you were equipped to fulfill. The blessing doesn't belong to the comfortable. It belongs to the courageous. Here's the hook. Comfort gives you permission to be lazy, but calling demands that you lead, and leadership always requires movement. You can't lead from a lounge chair, you lead from the battlefield. Your calling isn't found where you feel ready, it's found where you feel stretched. That tension you feel when you're about to do something new. That's purpose trying to pull you out of the prison of comfort. And yet, so many people choose the cage over the climb because the cage feels familiar. But comfort is not a blessing, it's a barrier. You can't carry destiny and convenience in the same hands. One has to go for the other to grow. When you study the lives of the greats, you'll find one common thread. They were all willing to walk away from comfort. Abraham left his homeland. Moses left the palace. David left the pasture. Each of them had to abandon the easy road to walk the God-ordained one. They understood that calling doesn't come to those who sit. It comes to those who step. And that's where many people get stuck. They pray for purpose but refuse to pay the price. But destiny requires departure. You can't stay where it's safe and expect to see the supernatural. The moment you choose calling over comfort, you invite transformation into your life. Comfort is deceptive because it feels like progress when it's actually paralysis. You can be busy but not effective, active but not advancing. Comfort will let you work hard on the wrong things so you feel productive while never becoming purposeful. It'll have you climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. That's why awareness is key. You must be able to discern the difference between peace and passivity. Peace empowers you to rest in your purpose. Comfort entices you to retreat from it. When you start confusing the two, you begin to settle for survival instead of striving for success. Here's another truth. Comfort feeds your ego, but calling feeds your soul. Comfort wants you to be admired, but calling wants you to be impactful. Comfort wants to make you look good. Calling wants to make you grow. The reason comfort feels so appealing is because it demands nothing from you, but calling demands everything. It asks you to give, to stretch, to risk, to trust. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be elevating. When you start chasing ease, you'll always miss excellence. But when you chase calling, you'll discover that the discomfort is what makes the reward worth it. So every time you feel comfort calling your name, remember it's not a sign to rest, it's a test to rise. It's life's way of asking, do you want to stay safe or do you want to step into significance? Because comfort and calling cannot coexist. The moment you choose your calling, you'll find that every challenge becomes a channel for your growth. And when you stop letting comfort control your destiny, that's when your purpose truly begins to come alive. Pressure is not your punishment, it's your preparation. Every ounce of pressure you feel in life is proof that something powerful is forming inside you. Just like heat refines gold and pressure forms diamonds, the tension in your life is refining your character, sharpening your focus, and revealing your strength. You don't get power by avoiding pressure, you get it by enduring it. The problem is, most people pray for progress but run from the process. They want success without struggle, greatness without grind, and breakthrough without the build-up. But the truth is, pressure produces power. Without pressure, there's no strength, no growth, no transformation. See, pressure has a purpose. It exposes what's inside you and pushes out what doesn't belong. When life starts squeezing you, that's not the time to quit. That's the time to see what you're really made of. Because here's the truth, if it doesn't challenge you, it can't change you. God uses pressure as his tool to develop potential. Every trial, every obstacle, every hardship is shaping you for what's next. The greater the pressure, the greater the preparation for the promise. You can't carry big blessings with small shoulders, and pressure is what broadens your capacity. It's how you're stretched into the version of yourself that can handle the success you've been praying for. Here's the hook. Pressure doesn't destroy the strong, it reveals them. Everyone looks confident in comfort, but true strength shows up under stress. When everything is easy, anyone can smile, but when life presses you and you still choose faith over fear, that's when power is born. Pressure separates the pretenders from the producers. It's the fire that burns away the false confidence and forges real conviction. You can't fake it in the furnace. Either you let it break you or you let it build you, but you can't stay the same. When you look at nature, you'll see that everything powerful is produced under pressure. Coal becomes a diamond only after years of intense compression. An olive releases oil only when it's crushed. A seed breaks open before it grows. So why would your destiny be any different? That situation, that feels like it's crushing, you might just be creating your crown. That setback you think is punishment might actually be positioning you. The pressure you feel right now isn't to destroy you, it's to develop you. Pressure doesn't mean you're off track. It's a sign you're on the edge of transformation. But here's the challenge. Most people see pressure and panic. They want to escape it instead of embracing it. They ask, why me? Instead of asking, what is this molding me into? Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens in the crushing zone. And when you start viewing pressure as purpose, your entire life changes. You stop running from hard things and start running toward them because you understand that every ounce of pressure is producing something precious inside you. It's building your endurance, refining your mindset, and anchoring your faith. Pressure doesn't come to weaken you. It comes to reveal the power that's already within you. You'll never know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. It's easy to believe when everything's going right, but it's powerful to believe when everything's falling apart. The weight you're carrying isn't meant to crush you. It's meant to crown you. Every tear, every trial, every moment of resistance is adding value to who you're becoming. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. And sometimes God allows pressure not to punish you, but to prove you. He's saying, I've placed something powerful inside you, and now it's time to see it shine. So don't run from pressure. Rise in it. Let it refine your focus, deepen your faith, and sharpen your determination. The more pressure you face, the more potential you unlock. Every great thing in life was born from pressure. The diamond, the oil, the breakthrough, all of it came through crushing. So if you're feeling pressed right now, smile. That means purpose is near. Remember this truth, the same pressure that breaks the weak is the same pressure that builds warriors. Which one you become depends on your mindset. Pressure doesn't define you, it develops you. And when you understand that, you stop fearing the weight and start walking in your power. Growth never happens in the comfort of the nest. The nest feels warm, safe, and familiar, but the longer you stay there, the more it begins to limit you. The truth is, the nest was never designed to be your home. It was designed to be your launch pad. You were made to soar, but you can't fly if you refuse to leave what feels safe. That's why life will sometimes shake your nest. God will allow certain things to get uncomfortable, not because He's punishing you, but because He's preparing you. He knows you'll never spread your wings while everything feels soft beneath you. Growth begins the moment you leave the nest of comfort and step into the sky of courage. Here's the hook. You can't experience the view of the mountain while clinging to the branch. You can't see the horizon if you're too scared to leap. The very thing that feels like loss is often your invitation to rise. When the mother eagle stirs the nest, she's not being cruel, she's being caring. She knows that the eaglet will never learn to fly until the feathers are removed, the branches are exposed, and the comfort is gone. That's what God does to you. When He starts removing what used to make you comfortable, He's not abandoning you, He's awakening you. He's saying, it's time to grow. And sometimes that means leaving behind the familiar job, the old habits, the same surroundings, or even relationships that no longer align with your destiny. We live in a world that worships safety, but safety and success rarely coexist. Playing it safe might protect you, but it will never promote you. Growth requires risk. It demands movement. It challenges you to step out before you feel ready. You'll never develop strength standing still. Just like the eagle has to face the wind to learn how to soar, you have to face resistance to realize your potential. The very storms you fear are the winds that lift you higher. Every gust that feels like it's pushing you back is actually pushing you up. What looks like opposition is often elevation in disguise. Most people never grow because they confuse comfort with stability. They say, I'm okay where I am, but deep down they know they've outgrown that level. You can't ask for new horizons while refusing to leave the old ground. You can't pray for transformation while resisting transition. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying, because life is movement. Growth means going beyond what you know, stretching beyond what's easy, and trusting that the process will catch you even when the ground disappears beneath your feet. The leap of faith is always scary, but it's the only way to discover your wings. Here's another hook. The nest is safe, but the sky is where the purpose is. Staying in the nest might keep you comfortable, but it will also keep you captive. You weren't born to just survive. You were born to soar. You were born to lead, to create, to inspire, to rise above the ordinary. But you can't do that if you're still clinging to what's comfortable. Every time you delay your leap, you delay your destiny. The longer you stay grounded, the harder it becomes to remember that you were made to fly. And yes, leaving the nest means you'll stumble. You'll fall. You'll flap your wings and feel like you're not going to make it. But that's part of the process. Falling doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're learning. Every fall teaches you how to rise stronger, how to navigate the wind, how to trust your wings. The eagle doesn't master flying on its first attempt. It learns through faith, through repetition, through persistence. That's exactly how your growth works. You don't become who you're meant to be overnight. You become it through every uncomfortable step you take. So when life starts shaking your nest, don't fight it, flow with it. Let the discomfort drive you into discovery. Let the unfamiliar teach you faith. Let the fall reveal your flight. Because growth doesn't come to the ones who wait for perfect conditions. It comes to the ones who dare to leap before they feel ready. The nest may have been your beginning, but it was never meant to be your ending. You can't become extraordinary while clinging to the ordinary. You have wings for a reason. So spread them, step out, and let the wind that once scared you become the force that lifts you into your destiny. Every single day, life presents you with a simple yet defining choice: comfort or courage. That choice determines everything: your growth, your success, your fulfillment, your legacy. Comfort whispers, stay here. It's safe, while courage declares, move forward. There's more. The two can't coexist because one will always silence the other. If you let comfort lead, you'll live contained. But if you let courage rise, you'll live called. The truth is, comfort is easy, but it costs you everything that truly matters. Courage, on the other hand, costs you temporary ease, but rewards you with permanent empowerment. The moment you choose courage over comfort, you start unlocking the version of yourself that fear kept hidden. Here's the hook. Comfort will give you permission to exist, but courage will give you power to expand. Comfort makes you feel good for a moment, but courage makes you great for a lifetime. It takes courage to say yes to your purpose, to start that business, to walk away from mediocrity, to speak up when silence is easier, to believe when doubt surrounds you. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. It's looking fear in the face and saying, you won't stop me this time. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Dreamers wait for the right time. Doors create the right time. And courage is the bridge between dreaming and doing. You see, Comfort seduces you with a lie. It says that staying safe will make you happy. But deep down, you know that's not true. You were never designed for stagnation. You were created for expansion. There's a voice inside of you that knows you're meant for more. But every time you silence that voice to stay comfortable, you betray your own potential. The danger of comfort is that it doesn't feel like failure. It feels like peace. But it's fake peace. Real peace comes from progress. When you're living with courage, even your struggles carry meaning. You stop fearing failure because you realize that failure isn't final, it's feedback. It's not the end of your journey. It's the evidence that you're still in the game. Courage is contagious. Every courageous decision you make builds momentum. It strengthens your faith, expands your confidence, and rewires your identity. You begin to see yourself differently, not as someone who merely survives, but as someone who shapes destiny. The world doesn't need more comfortable people. It needs more courageous leaders. People who are willing to go first, take risks, and move even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing, because willingness opens doors that waiting never will. Here's another truth. Comfort wants you to blend in. Courage demands that you stand out. Comfort keeps you quiet when courage tells you to speak. Comfort keeps you small when courage reminds you that you were created to be significant. Every time you choose courage, you disrupt the pattern of mediocrity. You rewrite the story of limitation that comfort tries to sell you. The only way to rise to your next level is to step into something that scares you. Growth and fear live in the same neighborhood. The thing you fear doing the most is often the very thing that will free you. The path of courage isn't smooth. It's uncertain, unpredictable, and uncomfortable. But it's also the path that leads to fulfillment. It's in the moments when your knees shake and your heart races, but you move anyway, that you discover your true power. Courage doesn't guarantee instant success, but it guarantees transformation. And transformation is worth more than temporary safety. Every act of courage compounds. One bold step leads to another until eventually courage becomes your new comfort zone. You stop waiting for confidence to arrive before you act, and confidence shows up as a result. So when life presents you with the choice, comfort or courage, remember this: comfort keeps you where you are, courage takes you where you're meant to be. Every breakthrough begins with a bold decision. Every destiny is born from a daring move. Don't let fear dictate your future when faith is asking you to move. Courage is not just an action. It's an identity. It's who you become when you decide that your purpose